As I opened my eyes, I found myself lying on the cold floor of a dark room. Confusion and disorientation overwhelmed me as I tried to piece together the events leading up to this moment. My mind was blank, and I couldn't remember anything from the past few days. But as I tried to stand up, something felt different. It was as if someone else was controlling my body. My movements felt stiff and unnatural, and my thoughts felt clouded and foreign. As I stumbled towards the door, I caught a glimpse of my reflection in the mirror. It was then that I realized the truth. I was no longer alone in my own body. A malevolent entity had taken control of me, and it was using my body to carry out its own dark desires. I was a prisoner in my own mind, unable to break free from its grip. Over the next few days, I watched helplessly as the entity used my body to carry out unspeakable acts. It forced me to do things that went against everything I believed in, and I was powerless to stop it. But despite the overwhelming despair and hopelessness, I refused to give up. I knew that I couldn't let the entity win, that I had to fight back with all my strength. With each passing day, I slowly regained control of my body and my mind. The entity fought back with all its might, but I refused to give up. I pushed back with all my willpower until finally, the entity's hold on me began to weaken. As the entity retreated, I was left alone once again, with the memories of its atrocities still fresh in my mind. But I knew that I had won, that I had triumphed over the darkness that had once consumed me. From that day forward, I made a promise to never let my guard down. I knew that the malevolent entity could return at any moment, but I was ready to face it head-on. I was determined to never let it control me again. But as time passed, I couldn't shake off the feeling that something was off. There were moments where I would feel a sense of déjà vu or a strange presence in the room. It was as if the entity was still watching me from afar, waiting for the right moment to strike. I tried to ignore these feelings and went on with my life as usual, but I knew deep down that I couldn't escape the entity's grasp so easily. Then one day, as I was sitting alone in my room, I felt a sudden chill run down my spine. The room grew colder, and the air felt thick with an ominous presence. I knew without a doubt that the entity had returned. I felt its grip on my mind once again, but this time, I was prepared. I fought back with all the knowledge and strength I had gained since our last encounter, refusing to let it take control of me once again. The battle raged on for what felt like an eternity, but finally, I emerged victorious. The entity's hold on me weakened until it dissipated entirely, leaving me alone once again. But this time, I didn't let my guard down. I knew that the entity could return at any moment, and I was ready to face it again if I had to. In the end, I learned that the true power to overcome the darkness lies within oneself. No matter how strong the entity or how terrifying the situation, we all have the ability to fight back and emerge victorious. We just have to believe in ourselves and never give up, no matter how impossible the odds may seem.